All right, Ethereum seems to be doing better than most today, so let's talk about that. Let's look at the daily chart, and we see the nice big move up, high and tight, right? We're just hanging out up here, slightly higher lows, but more or less, I think this is just like really kind of rectangular consolidation, which is still bullish. But because we only have a couple touch points down here, I would kind of not look too far into the rising higher lows, but more or less the consolidation, which usually this kind of pattern leads to continuation for where you came. So we came from the bottom, right? Big move up, consolidation, likely next big move up. We saw just the polar opposite of that right here, right? Look at the similarities here, right? Big move down, sideways consolidation, continue down, right? Big move up, sideways consolidation, big move up. That's where we should be going. Based on every kind of setup, right? This big move is amazing, and to not give any of that back says that continuation is more likely than not. Polar opposite of here, right? You can even invert the chart here, right? Just look at it. Stair step up here, right? Same way, going back down. This almost looks the more bullish part over here. Look how quick that happened, right? Usually bears jump out the window. Well, the bulls jumped out the window that time, huh? So looking at from history, this looks like more likely not than not we should be going up. It's trying to today. And if we look at Heikin-Ashi candles, right, we have a little bit of chop, which is consolidation, right? You have the green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red, just chopping around, consolidating. Heikin-Ashi shows your momentum, and momentum has just been like the little steady waves in the lake or ocean or whatever your favorite body of water is. But where can we look to confirm a breakout with a close, at least one? Remember, I like two closes to confirm above 26, whatever the high close was, 2682. What was this one? 2679, 2680. Two closes above 2682, and we're likely off to the races here. As long as Bitcoin cooperates, we should be good. Or, right, we always have to look at the flip side where we would be in trouble if we close outside of this box, aka under the 21, or more likely the bigger moving average is that 200 right there. The 200 day, but there's even a bigger one. It's that dark red ugly one. The 600 day is right there as well. 600 day moving average is 2570 for ETH and been pretty damn flat. 200 is pretty flat. Everything else is rising, which is a good sign. But would be very concerning for ETH if we start to close back under that 2500 zone down in this area. So that would be a warning. Otherwise, prices should be moving higher sooner than later. We'll go out to the 3-day, and you can still see that 200 now is that 600. Same thing, right? On the different chart. Our bigger level for ETH to break free. If you want to see ETH go back to, all-time highs, we could get a kind of a jailbreak, so to speak, if we can kind of start closing above 2900, right? You can see this long zone going back for, well over a year here. So that's the next area to watch, right? Look at how strong we've kind of been consolidating right above these major moving averages, the 100 and the 200 on a 3-day chart. Big moving averages here. And the fact that we're now holding prices above that could be a, kind of rear view mirror hindsight, like, hello, duh, of the next big move. And what kind of big move? Well, I mean, 20-30% wouldn't be off the cards here yet. So let's see what that takes us. So a 20% move would get us back to these kind of range highs over here, where before we kind of started this bigger downtrend. But 30% really takes us, now where everyone to get bullish on ETH again all of a sudden, right? ETH dead down here, ETH back, zombie land up here. So that's how quick things can change. And I would almost anticipate that, right? Look how long this zone has been intact here. Like almost 18 months now. Going all the way back to January, really almost 2023. So ETH back from the dead? Maybe above 2,900. 2,900. Now this is because this is such a long ass zone. This is big time resistance until proven otherwise. So yeah, you can look at that. Look at that 3-day candle wick right there. We got a high right to 2,800 and rejection so far. It's going to take a big candle. Just like when you break major resistance, major support, it's likely a big candle. Look at those big candles. Look at this one right here and this one right here. You might have to get your magnifying glass out, but when you break a big zone, it's usually significant. Look at that big candle right there. Look at that recovery wick. But if we are to break this, I would definitely anticipate a kind of a giant green, jelly green giant there. Maybe, 18, yeah, like 15, 18, 20%. That looks like the next kind of level I would be watching if we break this. Somewhere right in there, just above 3K. We can let's look at our fib scale real quick. If we can get it to work, right? We'll just take a loose, quick estimate here. Look where we are. We're right at the 618 right now. If we can punch through that, and I do like that we flipped the 0.5. Usually you can gain traction there. So a lot going for ETH right now, under the radar. I think maybe not a lot of people are aware of all the bullish implications showing here on these daily and 3-day charts. But this is, again, like I said, maybe the rear view mirror, and in hindsight, this would be pretty obvious. And yet it's right in front of us now and looking like it's about ready to rip back over well over 3K here. Be interesting to see how this plays out over the next couple of weeks. If Bitcoin can remain calm, I think ETH has definitely a chance to do that. So pretty impressive. Let's just check in on the weekly. Again, you can see the high time frame wicks, the weekly wicks all have tried to get above the 618. We haven't closed up there yet, but still looking good. Getting above the 100-week moving average for the first time. Potential our first weekly close above, really our second weekly close above the 100, and almost this entire year. And really the only bullish close above the 100 in 2025, barring the Pico top back here. So big things happening, but we're at big resistance. So we got to flip that. A weekly close above like 27, 28 would probably be breaking down the door here. Great sign of reversal right there with that little horseshoe reversal. The wick down. Great recovery, follow through. Looks like ETH is ready to prove some doubters wrong maybe.